Hey guys, Anthony here. It's Monday night, June 8th, 2015. I wanted to comment on my bug out drill or bug out hike that I did on Saturday, June 6th, 2015. I took a bunch of notes, and those of you that have seen that video on the hike, on the drill, will know that I used this pack, the Osprey Kestrel 48 pack. It performed very well. I'm very happy with it so far. It's the first major hike I've taken this pack on, other than having it stored in my vehicle for bug out purposes. So this is the bag that I go to for whatever will happen in an SHTF. It is my bug out bag. Some people call it an inch bag. I'm never coming home bag. This would be the bag that I would have or carry with additionally some extra items. And I wanted to do the review tonight while everything was fresh in my mind and my notes here, and just go over some of the things that worked and some of the things that didn't work, some of the things I carried, some of the things I need to still acquire or change for a real scenario. And I plan on doing these type of hikes more and more frequently, because the more they're done, the better condition your body's going to be, the better conditioned your mind's going to be. When something really does happen, it'll be like second nature. It's like the military does certain drills for certain things, and you do them over and over and over again many times, and you get better and better at it. And this is just one piece of the prepping mindset and the prepping overall. So with that, let me read a couple notes that I've taken, and hopefully it'll help. It's definitely helping me. Hopefully it'll help you guys redo and maybe make some changes, additions, and maybe take stock of what you have, and maybe even get up and get out there and do some training. The day of the hike, I started the hike at 3:30 p.m. You guys saw that in the video. It was 82 degrees and 73% humidity. I don't know if I mentioned that in the video. Again, it was Saturday, this past Saturday. I started from where I live, and I walked to a local city park just under 10 miles away. The scenario was a bug out emergency, a bug out drill. Wasn't anything specific. It was just something where I picked up and left. It wasn't something that I started stretching and I started hydrating. I snapped it in my head that I'm going on this hike. I grabbed my bag, I changed my shoes, I put some water in my bottle, and I took off. So basically it was what I had in my vehicle, and that was it. Okay. Again, I use the Osprey Kestrel 48. I have videos on this pack. It's also a great pack. It's, I think, a perfect size. I think going much bigger, the heavier your pack, the less distance you're gonna have to be able to walk. And believe me, I'm 52. I train 5 days a week pretty vigorously in the gym, and I had some trouble, and I had some, I'll go over some soreness that I'm not used to, and I'm pretty active. So take that for what it's worth. Additional gear I carried on my person was a Garmin eTrex 30. You saw that in the video with the carabiner clip. I carry a Maxpedition Spartan wallet, my keys, a small first aid kit, and a plastic Ziploc bag that I keep in my pocket even during the day when I'm at work. A Phoenix LD02 AAA flashlight I had in my pocket. I carried a Taurus 5-shot 38 caliber revolver. I was having some trouble carrying a bigger firearm because of the waist pack of the Kestrel, the Osprey Kestrel bag, and any other backpack with a waist strap is very, very difficult to carry on your hip when you have a backpack on. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do, what I've done to rectify that problem. But for this hike, I carried in a Nemesis holster in my right pocket with the .38 revolver and no extra ammo. And that's what I took. My Redhead Safari hat, a lot of people asked about that hat. I bought that hat at Bass Pro Shop last year. I think it was like 30 bucks. And it's an excellent, excellent hat. It's the Redhead brand, which is Bass Pro Shop brand. And I carried a small waist belt. I have it here. Let me see if I can get it without making this pack full. A little waist belt with a Nalgene holder waist belt, so I could have my Nalgene bottle right at my side, rather than reach back in the fabric pocket of the pack. Right now, you see the change I made. I just for this video, I filled my 100-ounce Camelback bladder up. I put it in the drink pocket where your Nalgene bottle would go. That is full, and I have the drink tube. I could run right over the shoulder here, and I have 100 ounces now of water that I could carry on this pack, just like it is. And I may modify this a little bit more, but rather than put it in the back sleeve here, excuse me, in the back of the pack, there's a sleeve you could put it in, but what happens is a full bladder is going to take room out of your pack and really make it uncomfortable and push up against you until you drink some of that water down. So rather than put it in the sleeve that it's made for, I'm putting it on the side of the pack here where I could carry it and keep it full. And again, this is the bottle on this side that I carried with the cap lid. That is fantastic. This lid is phenomenal. I highly recommend it. My shoes were Salomon Trail Runners, really good ones. They're $160 shoes. However, they are a little bit worn out. I've had them for a while. They need to be replaced. They did give me some trouble. I was, and I'll read it down here, I was, didn't get any blisters, but I had the start of some blisters on my feet. And I think it was just because the shoes were worn a little bit, the soles were a little worn out, and they were low top trail runners. I'm going to get myself a good ankle high, at least, hiking boot, combination hiking trail runner for the future. I wore cargo pants made by, not 511, I'll think of the name in a second. My socks were by Keen, hiking socks. They were good, but although I think I should have doubled up on them. Dry fit sleeveless undershirt, a dry fit long sleeve overshirt you saw, and that's to protect me from sunburn and to wick sweat away from my body. A 511 military belt that I have here. It's a web belt. I did experience some shoulder chafing on my right shoulder. There's nothing there today, but during the hike, this was all red here. I think I just had the pack, need to make some adjustments in how I had it sitting on my shoulders. Some of the things I want to add, and I think that anybody that's prepping should look into this, a good recharger, a good battery, high amperage battery to recharge your cell phone and or other electronic devices. That is very important. And Goal Zero just came out with one. I think it's $100. I forget the name of it. It'll recharge your cell phone several times, your iPhone or your Android-based phone. And also, I want to carry my 7-watt Goal Zero solar panel that folds up to recharge the charging battery that'll recharge my phone. With that in the field, because I was communicating with my wife during the hike, I left and my phone was already at 50% during the hike. I think it got down to like 25 or 30%. I didn't want that. I had no way to recharge it. So that's something I'm going to add to my kit. And guys, these notes are important to me. And think about what you have packed. Think about what you're carrying. And listen, you come home and boom, there's an event and you've got to go. So that's the mindset you want to have when you're doing a drill like this. Definitely want to add more water capability, and I'm doing that with the Camelback. and also still have the Nalgene bottle on the other side with an extra 33 ounces. Buy better shoes. I already talked about that. Secure a way to carry a larger capacity firearm. I think I solved that problem. I watched some videos. I've had my eye on there's a company called Ribs, RIBZ. They make what's called a front pack in like 4 different sizes, 4 or 5 different sizes. You put it on and you zip it, and it sits just along your ribs if you set it right, and it's got front pockets. One here, a set here, and a set here. It has a webbing or cross webbing that goes on your back and 2 flat shoulder harnesses that hold it in place that can be adjusted. And your backpack, like something like this, can still go on your back. You could still buckle your waist belt, but yet have, I forget the cubic inches of cargo space right on your front. And I can move items now that are in this pack, like a fire kit, a firearm, extra ammo, maybe a small tarp, a poncho to just quickly grab out, some snacks, some light food that have it right in your front. Just unzip it while you're walking, reach in, grab a bar, be able to conceal your firearm and yet still grab it fairly quickly, rather than having it in your pocket, chafing against your leg, or down lower in a lower cargo pocket, bouncing against your thigh or hitting stuff on the trail when you're walking. So the Ribs pack, I'm going to order that soon in the medium size. There's small, medium, large, and extra large. I'm going to get the medium size. I don't want to get too much gear in the front, but I just want to have enough to at least carry my firearm and some other essentials. So I think I solved that. You guys let me know if you run something like that. A blister kit. I need to get a blister kit, medical kit on board just in case. I was getting the start of blisters on my right foot. Lighter type pants, more of those lighter like Columbia pants. Several companies make them, even some no-name companies make them, like brands like from Bass Pro Shop and Gander Mountain. They're really thin material and they kind of breathe. You wear them for fishing and stuff. Some have a zipper. They turn into shorts. Definitely a light pair of pants for, remember, I'm in South Florida, hot climate, humid weather. You want more breathability, but yet at the same time, I do not wear shorts. I will not bug out with shorts on unless I totally had to. But even if I did, I have a change of those pants in my gear, and I could pull out of my bag further down into the bug out situation and then change out of my shorts. There are critters down here in South Florida that'll eat your legs alive. And there's different types of stings you could get. I recommend a high sock, a long pant, and maybe even taping the ends of your pants down if you're in the woods down here. I was on an open trail, but if I was in the woods, I would have duct taped my pants or tucked them in my socks or did something so nothing crawled up inside. Definitely don't want my legs exposed down here, or my arms for that matter. That's why I wear long sleeves and then a lid to cover my head so I don't get sunburned, and it also a buff around my neck like you saw in the video. Extra batteries. I want to check my food because I did stop on the trail for about 10 minutes, took the pack off, put some electrolytes in my water, and I grabbed the Cliff Bar. I had one Cliff Bar in the side pouch pocket on the hip belt, and the bar expired in January. However, I took a bite of it. I guess it was edible, but I just didn't like the way it tasted. Several months out of date. Just tasted really stale, and I wasn't in the mood to eat a stale Cliff Bar. So I trudged on to my course without eating anything. Although I do have food in the pack, I didn't want to cook anything up. So some fresher bars I got to put in here. Again, I want to close this video out with some notes on training and fitness. On my channel, I do have videos on weight training, different things that I've done over the years. I was a competitive bodybuilder, powerlifter, I was a wrestler in high school. I played football. I played baseball. I played lacrosse. I was always active from very little, from a young age. Karate, um, and all different types of sports. And that carried over into my bodybuilding and powerlifting career. And still to this day, I'm very active. 5 days a week, I train very vigorously for somebody my age. Not that I'm old, I'm 52, but my goal is to be in just as good a shape as when I was 25. When something does break bad, if and when something does break bad, you do not want to be a couch potato and then have to put on a 50-pound, a 45 or 50-pound pack and think you're going to walk, trudge 8 miles. And Florida is relatively flat. Somebody that lives in a real hill country, and they got to go up and down some hills and climb over some mountains and do whatever to get to their rendezvous point or get to their bug out location or just flee the area. You're going to have a very hard time physically, and you may not make it. That's why you want to keep your pack at a decent amount of weight, but still have a lot of gear. That's essential, and I'm always going through my gear. But you want to be in physical condition. I'm going to do a series of videos just on stretching. I picked up this pack, put it on, and walked, I think it was 8 miles. Saturday, and I purposely didn't do this video right away because I wanted to wait and see how I felt. Saturday night, I came back, showered, took 2 Motrin, I stretched a little bit, I ate, and Saturday night I felt the soreness coming on, especially in my hips. Each hip was very sore. And I guess that was from trudging on the hard cement, the concrete walkway that I walked on. That bothered me into Sunday and even into today at work a little bit. I was kind of, every time I got up from sitting down, I was kind of a little wobbly, not wobbly, but a little like kind of off kilter. So when I did go to the gym tonight at work, I stretched. I stretched for about a half hour, really good. And then I had a good leg day. I did squats today and calves and hamstrings. But I was still able to do my workout, not as heavy as usual because of the rigorous work I did on Saturday, but I still worked out and conditioned and stretched and did abs and core and the different things that I do. And what I'm trying to say is, whether it's 3 days a week, 4 days, 5 days, you need to do something. Even if it's walking, going out and walking the dog an extra half a mile, going out with your wife or husband for a walk, take an exercise band with you. You could do a whole different host of exercises just while you're out walking in the street or around in the park. At things at home, if you don't have weights, you could do push-ups, you could do sit-ups, you could push off the wall, you could do all kinds of things at home. You could lift up cans of corn and use them for weight. You could do shoulders and buys and tries with that. There's things you can do even if you can't get out of the house, at home, to help get yourself in shape. It's very, very important to be in good physical condition, not only cardiovascular-wise, but your weight, how much weight you're carrying. The less weight you're carrying, the better off you're going to be in an SHTF as far as speed goes and be able to carry a pack. One more thing I want to mention, when you're training, with your bug out bag, I recommend going a little heavier in your training and then having your bag be a little bit lighter. So when you go to pick it up and the real thing happens, you're used to heavier weight and you can cut back down. Your body will notice the lighter weight of the bag. I do that a lot in lifting. If I'm doing like pull-ups or chin-ups, what I'll do is I'll strap a 35 or 40-pound dumbbell in my weight belt, hang it off me, and I'll try to get 5, 6, or 7 good pull-ups with the weight, and then have somebody spot me for the rest. And then when you take the weight off and then try the set again, you'll notice you can pull yourself up because there's 40 pounds less. Your muscles, ligaments, and tendons remember. So you could go a little heavier in your prepping with your pack and then cut it back down a little for the real deal. And when you're training, train a little heavier, and your body will be a lot used to it when it hits the lighter pack, rather than training with a lighter pack and then training with a 25-pound pack and then putting a 50-pound pack on for the real SHTF, your body's going to be in shock and ain't going to be able to compensate. So those are my notes for the video, guys. I'm going to go through this pack this week. I'm going to figure out a better way to rig my water up. I'm going to get the ribs pack, the front pack, do a whole nother video on that, and then another bug out drill with that ribs pack with more gear in that, and this pack as well. And I'll continue the series. Maybe go to a different area and do something different. Maybe do an overnighter and then come back again. So hopefully this helps you guys. I know I rambled for 20 minutes, trying to get a lot in. I just start talking, and hopefully it helps a lot of people. And the dialogue we have going back and forth on YouTube is very beneficial, I think. Stay ready. Take these drills seriously, because a day may come when you may have to really do it. Instead of just saying you're going to do it, you may have to do it. And that day may be fast approaching. So, Anthony signing off. Stay ready. God bless, and take care.